Like water flowing from the mountaintop, this is the sound of DBS.
DBS News. Fresh in the morning. Eye-opening and balanced. The DBS Morning News starts right now.
This morning's headlines: La Plaine is to get a fire and ambulance building at a cost of $2.5 million from the U.S. government. In Haiti, 2 Catholic nuns have been murdered in central Haiti as a wave of violence continues in Haiti. And China has accused the White House of bullying practices after Donald Trump imposed 104% duties on Chinese goods into the U.S. Details of the morning news right after this.
Not only does it make your white the cleanest and brightest, the benefits of using Clean and White bleach are endless. The sterilizing property of Clean and White bleach is beneficial for several household purposes. Clean and White bleach has the ability to remove mold and mildew from hard surfaces, serve as a disinfectant for household items like your kitchen and bathroom area, and even your baby's toys. Clean and White bleach is available in various sizes at Fine Food. Call 617-6342 or order on Click and Collect your Clean and White bleach today. Clean and White bleach available at Fine Foods and sold island-wide.
Since 1910, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited has proudly served Dominica, offering a wide variety of products and services in shipping, logistics, insurance, travel, retail, and wholesale. We are committed to serve you. Contact us today at 767-255-1100 or visit us at our main office on Old Street, Roseau. From humble beginnings to proud achievements, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited.
AfroCaribbean. Tank installation is part of our mission. Excellent client support is what we got. Contribution to development of Dominica. Supply of LPG at an affordable rate. Let's go. AfroCaribbean straight. No time to waste. So come on everyone with me to AfroCaribbean. 250 gallon propane tank. 420 pound propane tank. 100 pound LPG cylinder. AfroCaribbean. 20 pound fiberglass cylinder. AfroCaribbean. 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 AfroCaribbean.
DBS News.
Welcome back to the DBS Major Morning News. My name is Curtis Matthew. The news this morning is brought to listeners through the kind compliments of AfroCaribbean, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited, and Fine Foods Inc. La Plaine is to get a fire and ambulance building at a cost of $2.5 million from the U.S. government. Minister for National Security Rayburn Blackmore made the announcement on Tuesday.
And we had made a request through Southcom for the construction of a fire and ambulance building to house the fire officers. And I'm happy to have received communique from the U.S. Embassy that that request has been approved, the funding has been approved to the tune of $2.5 million for the construction of a new building in the village of La Plaine to house the fire and ambulance services. And for that, we're grateful for your support. And on behalf of the Prime Minister, the government of Dominica, and the people of Dominica, please convey our gratitude to the U.S. government.
And that's the Minister for National Security, Rayburn Blackmore. A U.S. national residing in Casabruce, charged with attempted murder and kidnapping of an Italian man, has been remanded into custody at the Dominica State Prison. The accused appeared before a Roseau magistrate yesterday when the charges were read.
It is alleged that between March 24, 2025 and April 4, 2025 at Belleville, Casa Bruce, Milad Gamil Boutros of the United States of America did unlawfully and by force seize and confine a mid-sheriff of Egypt against his will. The U.S. national who resides at Baggio Gutta, Casa Bruce, is further accused of attempted murder of the Italian man between March 24th and April 4th, 2025 at Belleville, Casa Bruce. At his court appearance, Boutros was not required to enter a plea since the matters are indictable offenses expected to be tried at the High Court. The prosecution informed the court of its objection to bail. However, defense attorneys Wayne Norde and Gina Abraham Thomas, who represents the accused, did not apply for bail for their client, informing the court that they would defer the formal bail application for a later date. Consequently, the accused was remanded into custody at the Dominica State Prison. The matter was adjourned to August 8, 2025 for the commencement of the preliminary inquiry. Ronaldo Luke reporting for DBS News.
Meantime, 24 people now stand charged with unlawful assembly following protest action in Roseau on March 19.
Luvina Mavis Edwards of Bafa State, popularly known as Blue Blue, appeared before Magistrate Pearl Williams on Tuesday with the charges read to her. It is alleged that on March 19, 2025, at Victoria Street in Roseau, the accused unlawfully, riotously, and tumultuously assembled to the disturbance of the public, contrary to the provision of Section 4 of Chapter Number 1002 of the Riot Act of the Consolidated Laws of Dominica of 2017. At her court appearance, the defendant was not required to enter a plea since the matter is an indictable offense expected to be tried at the High Court. During the hearing, Police Prosecutor Inspector Edwards raised no objections to bail and did not propose any bail conditions. Consequently, attorneys Ronald Charles and Joshua Francis, who represents Edwards, presented Albert Astafans as the proposed surety. Following an assessment by the court, Astafans was deemed a fit and proper person to stand bail for Edwards. Bail was granted in the sum of $25,000 with no conditions attached. The matter was adjourned to August 21, 2025 for the commencement of the preliminary inquiry. Ronaldo Luke reporting for DBS News.
Thank you very much, Ronaldo Luke, for your comprehensive reports. From the courts in Dominica, the police said last night their investigations into the protest action will continue and more arrests are expected this week. Other news this morning, Regional President of the International Union of Food, Dwayne Paul, says the union is concerned about the status of workers who contribute significantly to the financial success of businesses and institutions. The International Union of Food wraps up its two-day meeting in Dominica today.
We also need, with utmost urgency, to close the gap between the wealth generated by workers and the wealth returned to workers. Far too often in this region, we read reports of extraordinary profits generated and exported to capital, yet many of our workers are still very much working in jobs that keep them at or below the poverty line. This cannot continue to be the outcome. I therefore say that this is the time to call on all trade unions in this region to join with us under the banner of the IUF to work in tandem to improving the lot of workers that we have been entrusted to represent.
And that's the regional president of the International Union of Food, Dwayne Paul. Well, their two-day meeting ends at the Waterfront and Allied Workers Union in the course of the day. A student of the Siniku Primary School has emerged on top in the second competition in round one of the DBS Radio Felix Henderson National Reading Contest. 4 schools took part in yesterday's event, which took place at the Salibia Primary School.
In 4th position with 239 points, Miss Ranella Pascal from the Monjon Primary School. In 3rd position with 342 points, Chaska Frederick from the Salibia Primary School. Coming at number 2 with 344 points, Emoni Prevo from the Saint-Sauveur Primary School. And coming at number 1 with 354 points, Kiera John of Sinico Primary School.
And that's the assistant coordinator of the DBS Radio, Felix Henderson National Reading Contest, Annadale Jacob. At 2:30 today, the reading competition will move to the St. John's Primary in Portsmouth. It begins at 2:30. The schools which will compete are St. John's Primary, Roosevelt Douglas Primary, Savonpie, Dubla Primary, Penville, Baroness Patricia Scotland, and Thibault. On Thursday, that's tomorrow, the Coolibisri Primary, Collyho, Salisbury Primary, Western District, SDA, Warner Primary, and Campbell Primary will compete in the 4th competition of round 1 at the Massac Kenfield Primary School. The competitions begin at 2:30 in the afternoon. The acting police chief, Lincoln Corbett, says a training in weapons destruction, which began at the SSU compound at Monbruce this week, is worthwhile. The training in weapons destruction is an initiative of the Dominica Police, CARICOM Impacts, and the U.S. Embassy. Over 300 firearms are to be destroyed by the police over the next few weeks.
The government of Dominica made a request to CARICOM Impacts and the United States Embassy for assistance in stockpile management. This request was favorably considered, and the United States government, in collaboration with Impacts and MAGS, or MAG, as the Mine Advisory Group, have partnered with us to provide logistical support and training in the management of our stockpile of arms and ammunition. The training which commenced yesterday, that is April, is designed to train 8 armorers in the destruction and disposal of arms and ammunition and blasting material. The training will provide the armorers with the capability to destroy stockpile holdings of obsolete, unserviceable, and seized weapons. This will contribute to the prevention of diversion, specifically weapons moving from legal possession into the hands of criminals. All the weapons to be destroyed have been held in police custody. They have been inspected and made safe within the stockpile, and they are certified for destruction. Within the training, all necessary safety protocols are taught, and the necessary PPE is provided. That is, all the necessary protection that you don't get hurt in the process of destroying firearms. It is expected that in excess of 300 absolute, unserviceable, and derelict weapons will be destroyed using the cutting method.
And that's the acting police chief, Lincoln Corbett. Meanwhile, country officer at the U.S. Embassy, Eastern Caribbean, Brett Hernandez, says the U.S. is elated to support the program of weapons destruction in Dominica.
The proliferation of small arms, light weapons, and ammunition undermines regional stability, fuels organized crime, and drives illegal immigration. Challenges that directly impact the safety of American citizens and our national security. The United States is committed to address this problem head-on, securing vulnerable weapons, improving security at munitions depots, destroying excess weapons and ammunition, and providing specialized training to those who manage these stockpiles are crucial steps in this fight. By securing vulnerable weapons, improving stockpile security, destroying excess guns and ammunition, and providing specialized training to security forces, we are not just protecting the region, we are making America safer. These efforts disrupt illicit drug trafficking routes, weaken transnational criminal organizations, and stem the flow of illegal arms. The United States is proud to collaborate with the Mines Advisory Group, CARICOM's Implementing Agency for Crime and Security, and the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force for this critical work. Since 1993, the United States has invested more than $259 million US in similar initiatives across Latin America and the Caribbean.
And that's the country officer at the U.S. Embassy, Eastern Caribbean, Brett Hernandez. Now we go to the telephone because an event will take place in Dominica at it's organized by the Blossom Dominica. Kimara Matthew is the proprietor of that organization. The organization is hosting the event. It's AfroCaribbean 2025 taking place on Saturday. Kimara Matthew, good morning to you. Welcome to the DBS Morning News.
Good morning, Curtis, and everyone out in Radio Land. Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here.
Right. Thank you very much again for joining us. Bring us up to date. What is AfroCaribbean 2025 taking place Saturday?
All right. So AfroCaribbean is really Dominica's story coming to life. We are going to time travel on Saturday. We are going to go all the way back to the 18th century and connect the dots to the 21st century. And we're utilizing our platform, fashion, and we're also going to bring in some drama, some music, and we're using art and poetry to bring that story to life.
And that, of course, is hosted by your Blossom Dominica. But how important is that event?
Actually, it is one that every Dominican should pay particular attention to because it really says who we are. It reminds us of why we are a resilient people, why we have been able to fall so many times and rise so many times. And it's really it's going to be an emotional time for us on Saturday because it's really reliving our history and really telling who we are and where we come from.
That event is planned for Castle Comfort.
Correct. We are hosting the event at the Anchorage Hotel, and this is happening this Saturday at 5:30 p.m.
And generally speaking, you would expect the public to attend in their numbers.
Definitely. We urge every Dominican to come and support. We also want to acknowledge the contribution of our Carinago community. They have been one of those who have fought for their existence today. And on the 12th of April, which is this Saturday, at the Anchorage Hotel, the Carinago community will be telling their story.
Right. Well, Kimara Matthew, thank you very much. I'm very sure we will hear a lot more about this event. Thank you for joining us on the news this morning.
Thank you so much for having me. And we are currently selling tickets. Our tickets are now $100, and it comes with an entrance drink. You can purchase that at our Blossom Dominica headquarters, or you can go to Shop DM. There's a catalog with our name on it, Blossom Dominica. Just one click, gets you in, get your tickets, and secure your spot.
Thank you very much, Kimara Matthew of Blossom Dominica. In Haiti, 2 Catholic nuns were murdered in central Haiti as armed gangs overran the city in a wave of violence that also freed more than 500 inmates from a local prison. The victims were members of the Little Sisters of St. Therese of the Child Jesus Congregation of Nuns. Archbishop Max Leroy Mesidor of Port-au-Prince confirmed their deaths, calling it a huge loss for the community. According to reports, the nuns were working at a school when gangs stormed the building and executed everyone inside. The Haitian authorities, they are concerned about the wave of violence which continues to hit Haiti. Finally, this morning, China has accused the White House of bullying practices after Donald Trump imposed 104% duties on Chinese goods into the U.S. The duties on China kicked in after Beijing refused to meet Trump's deadline to withdraw its own levies on the U.S. Steeper tariffs on 60 countries, which Trump deems the worst offenders on trade, came into effect this morning. It is 18 minutes after 7 o'clock. That's news. Don't go away. The sports report comes up shortly.
His babies the comfort they need with paddless diapers. A diaper with a powerful storage core that locks the wetness away and keep your baby dry. Soothe your baby's skin with a breathable cotton-like cover because paddless diapers has a wetness indicator. Your precious baby deserves a diaper like Paddlers, which has an easy fit due to flexible side panels with stretch that ensures increased comfort and freedom to move, to crawl, to walk, to run and play. Paddlers, distributed by Fine Foods and sold island-wide.
Since 1910, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited has proudly served Dominica, offering a wide variety of products and services in shipping, logistics, insurance, travel, retail, and wholesale. We are committed to serve you. Contact us today at 767-255-1100 or visit us at our main office on Old Street, Roseau. From humble beginnings to proud achievements, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited.
AfroCaribbean. Tank installation is part of our mission. Excellent client support is what we got. Contribution to development of Dominica. Supply of LPG at an affordable rate. Let's go. AfroCaribbean straight. No time to waste. So come on everyone with me to AfroCaribbean. 250 gallon propane tank. 420 pound propane tank. 100 pound LPG cylinder. AfroCaribbean. 20 pound fiberglass cylinder. AfroCaribbean. 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 AfroCaribbean.
Covering the nation and beyond. DBS Sports Report.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
For over 47 years, the National Bank of Dominica Limited has been a cornerstone of our nation's development, standing by our customers at every step. Together, we are shaping a brighter future. We recognize that every journey is different, and we are dedicated to nurturing meaningful relationships. We are here to understand your needs and support your goals. Our personalized services are designed to provide the peace of mind you deserve wherever life takes you. Trust us to be there when it counts. With NBD, you have a partner invested in your success today, tomorrow, and always.
Let's begin the DBS Morning Sports Report with news on the World Cup qualifiers now taking place between the West Indies women and Scotland. Well, that match seems headed down to the wire. It's going to be a close game because Scotland women batting first made 244 in 45 overs. We had Bryce scoring 55. Megan McCall had 45. For the West Indies, Hayley Matthews had 4 for 56. Well, the West Indies women needing 245. Just a short while ago, the West Indies women, they were batting on 203 for 8 in 41.3 overs. Again, the consistent Hayley Matthews is not out 99 and Zeta James made 45. It's a World Cup qualifier. Let's bring you the scores again. Scotland women, 244 in 45 overs. The West Indies women, 203 for 8 in 41.3 overs. Haley Matthews, a lot will depend on her. She's batting on 99 not out. Zeta James made 45. But let's bring you some netball news now. The captain of the national under-16 netball team, Delicia Julian, feels the team has to stick together and play better if they are to see improvements in the ongoing Jean-Pierre Caribbean Youth Netball Tournament. Dominica suffered another defeat, their third of the tournament, losing 20-35 to St. Lucia last night. Shooting for the Dominica team, Diane Augustine made 16 out of 20 attempts, and Valinda Winston made 3 from 5. Nigel Ferdinand made 21 from 27 attempts for the St. Lucia team.
Okay, I believe we need to work on communication, coming for the ball, breaking, our passes need to be fixed, and we just need to stay focused because always in the second quarter we always losing focus, but then in the third and the last quarter we're fighting back. So that is something like we need to fight from the first whistle to the last whistle.
So any positives that you believe that you can take out of the 2 games that you've played thus far?
Yes, we always fight back. We always try to fight back in the third and the last quarter. Although it might not be the right amount of goals that is needed, but we always fight back.
And that's the captain of the national under-16 netball team, Delicia Julian. Let's bring you some cricket news now. The head coach of the national under-19 cricket team, Phoenix Thomas, is backing his boys to put Monday's poor showing against Grenada behind them and bounce back to beat St. Lucia as the Windward Islands under-19 tournament continues this morning. After starting the tournament with a win on Sunday, Dominica went down by over 100 runs to Grenada on Monday. Phoenix Thomas says he's not too concerned with the batting and thinks the team will bounce back.
Obviously, we started very positively. Guys came here, we knew what we wanted to do, so we went out and we had a few plans that we executed. Basically, all of the plans that we have and achieved them. In the second game, however, we, as you said, fell short with the bat. We had a very good start with the ball. Guys did what they had to do, and somewhere in the middle, kind of lost it away when guys went a bit flat. And as I kept telling them that we were ahead, the team was only scoring about 3 runs on over against us, so we should be ahead. Even we were bowling, looking like we were going to bowl the full 50. But having said that, we went into bat and we never looked like wanting to chase down the total. We're just going to go back to the drawing boards and execute the plans that we have, that we would set. The competition is very much wide open. Everybody has played 2-on-1-1. So we go in there knowing what our goals were from the start of the tournament and to execute our plans and to bring pride and some success for Dominica.
Phoenix Thomas is also concerned with the outside interference with players receiving instructions outside the camp.
I think there's this thing going on where guys are afraid to make mistakes because of a lot of outside interference. And you know, I'm somebody who I don't hide stuff. I speak on stuff and let people know what is going on. And I clearly think that the guys have too much outside interference. We're here as a team. The DCA trusted myself and Kevin James as the manager. And under-19 cricket is something, it's not Mount Everest task. As we are here as responsible people, we know what to do, we know what is required, and all I would ask is just that the outside interference just allow us to do what we have to do.
And that's the head coach of the national under-19 cricket team, Phoenix Thomas. The other match on today will feature Grenada and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Let's stay with cricket news. The regional 4-day tournament has gone down to the wire and 3 teams are in with a chance to lift the title as that competition heads into its final round of matches this morning. Defending champions Guyana lead the points table with 111.6 points. Trinidad is on 105.4. Barbados are third on 100 points with a slim chance of being crowned champions. Guyana will meet Trinidad in its final match. Guyana's captain Tevin Imlach says the confidence is high heading into the final encounter.
We've been playing good cricket. It shows because we're top of the table. So we're very confident. We have the necessary pieces together. We have our planning and we've done our planning and stuff. So we just need to execute our plans and again treat it as another cricket game. And not try to get too ahead of ourselves and think too much about the championship. I mean, if we play good cricket, and that would obviously take care of itself. At least that's the way we feel.
Could you just speak to the importance of Kevin Anderson and how instrumental he's been to the success of the Guyana Happy Eagles so far this competition? Over 500 runs to his name.
Yeah, I mean, it's a coming of age for him. Exciting talent. You know, he would have done well last year. Didn't necessarily go on to score a lot of hundreds, but this year you could see the growth. It's exciting for Guyana cricket, you know, to see a young player, you know, improving. It's something that we're keen on, you know, having young players develop and move from strength to strength every year. So he's been an important part of our team this year. He's been scoring a lot of runs, the most runs in the team, and it's good to see.
And that's the captain of the Guyana team, Tevin Imlach. Meanwhile, Trinidad's captain Joshua Da Silva says his team just has to play consistent cricket and win the right moments.
We knew the last game of the season was going to be a straight shootout. It's like a final. So, the vibe in the camp is still really good. We know where we went wrong and what happened in that last game against Jamaica, and just try and not let those things happen again. And in training today, everybody's happy and ready to go again, excited for this clash.
Joshua, we've seen a brilliant start from Jason Mohammed to the competition, but recent games, he hasn't really fired based on the expectations that he started off with. Have you had any discussions with him? And what are you looking forward to for the finals?
Yeah, obviously we know the experience that Jason brings. He did start off really well. He has 550 odd runs, I believe, in the tournament. It's good to see what he started with, and it's also good to see when he wasn't scoring, other people put their hand up and we're still able to get those big scores and get wins under our belt. So it's definitely not a one-man show as you can see it. So, the conversation with him is we're backing him, and we know the experience and the talent that he has. So he's gonna come good. We know it because of the experience and what he brings to the table. He loves to play against Guyana as well. So I have no doubt that he's raring to go and he's gonna put his best foot forward. As Tevin said earlier, runs aren't guaranteed as cricket we play. So for him, he's trying his best, and now I have the utmost confidence in him every time we step out on the park.
And that's the Trinidad and Tobago captain Joshua Da Silva. Barbados will take on the Leeward Islands in the other match and will need an outright win coupled with some bonus points, and will also need a favorable result in the match between Trinidad and Guyana. Meantime, taking a look at the top performers heading into the final round of matches, Jason Mohammed remains the leading run scorer with 552 runs. Kevlon Anderson of Guyana has 522. That should be Tevin Imlach, 505. Joshua Da Silva, 481 runs. The top Volcanoes batsman is Sadrak Descat with 308 runs. In the bowling department, Kari Pierre has 37 wickets. Varasamy Permal and Joshua Bishop, 28 wickets each. The Volcanoes' leading wicket taker is Kenneth Demba with 18, while Gilon Tyson has 16 wickets. Finally, the Windward Island Volcanoes head coach Kenroy Peters is hoping the openers can end their campaign in the Regional 40 tournament with a big statement. The Windward Island Volcanoes, they've struggled with the bat all tournament. The Windwards will play the West Indies Academy in their final match of the season in Antigua. Peters is hoping to end the tournament with a strong showing. It's gone past 7:30 in Dominica and the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. That too will end the DBS morning news and sports. Let's just remind you, Creole Heartbeat on DBS 11 this morning. the important and sensitive topic of mental health will be discussed on Creole Heartbeat from 11 o'clock. Psychologist Dr. Carla